All right. Shalom. And this is the book of Romans 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of power, that he present your body a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto power, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. And to that, we like to say, Kal Halayim, La Allah Hayinawa, Yahweh, Bashem Roshai, Bashem, Roka Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great Mason well. Shalom unto the brothers whose pushing his works in truth and in sincerity. Throw the folk onto the earth, risking their life to do so more than ever. And shalom unto the Israelites who have been scattered among the heathen nation. And shalom onto the Akwat, who is listening and learning, which is your sisters, especially obeying your husband. This is your brother Gratazar from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp out of Trinidad and Tobago. So hereby, video title, Focus on Your Walk. As the thumbnail said, focus and walk through the chaos, the path to purpose, right? And all, as we know it, any path, that you take to something that, even if it's a personal goal, even walking this path, of Yahweh Bashim Shai, it's not just a straight road, with good things happening all the time, even, bad things, right? It is a whiny, bumpy, grievous, deadly road, right? If you're not too careful, right, you could slip and fall on the edge, right? So you gotta focus on your walk, no matter how hard it gets. You have to focus on your walk. You have to tap in, right? So let's get through this video.
Ah, child, tell me, when you run a race, do you look at the man beside you?
No, I keep my eyes forward.
Exactly, because if you keep looking at others, you will trip on your own path. Life is the same, boy. If you spend your days watching another man's journey, you will forget to walk your own.
But what if they're ahead of me?
Ahead, behind, it does not matter. A fisherman does not watch another man's boat. He focuses on his own net, his own catch. Stay in your lane, move at your speed, and trust that what is yours will come in time.
So I should just focus on my journey?
Yes, child. Walk with purpose, move in silence, and let your success make the noise. The only person you need to be better than is the man you were yesterday.
So if I just keep going, I'll get there?
Not just get there. You will arrive at the right time, as the man you are meant to be. No shortcuts, no distractions. Walk steady, trust your journey, and remember, what is truly yours can never be taken by another. Ah, child.
Right. So trust your journey, trust your walk. Every man's journey is not the same as another man's journey, right? And hey, this is why, it said focus on yourself and focus on your walk. Even also to focus on yourself too, but in time of distress, we share a brother burden, all right? But also with that, you have to focus on your walk because, sometimes, a man may feel, hey, look how this brother may probably preach. Look how well he is preaching, and I also want to reach there, right? Yes, that is all well and good, all right? But you have to know that your walk is not his walk, and his walk is not your walk, right? That brother may excel a knowledge greater than you, right? In terms of, break down the remembrance and stuff like that. But also what you have to also remember is that this is your walk. It is not a race. It is a walk. It is a marathon, right? It's not a race. It is about being consistent, right? And being steady, right? Because if you try to also reach upon that brother level, you may probably get burnt out, right? Because it have brothers, it have brothers, who will do 100 videos, right? Or 100 videos, 70 videos, right, for the month. And then it have some brothers, who will do 30 videos, who will make 28, right, 25, 35, right? Because that is their lot. This is their walk, right? You don't know what's taking place in another brother's life, right? And what he basically have to deal with, the mental plagues, right? The plagues that he have to fight with in his mind, right? He may still, our brother may still be distracted by certain things of the world, and getting himself caught up, right? He is also probably trying to fight that as well, right? So you focus on your part, and your knowledge will be increased, right? Your knowledge will be increased. But it's all well and good to even admire a brother's work and be proud of that brother. Be glad for that brother, because you can see that he is well studied, and Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai have blessed that brother, right? Have given that brother a gift, right, of increasing his knowledge. All right. But don't worry, your time will come. Just stay on your path and continue doing the work for Yahweh Bashim and Shai. Right? Because you will burn out yourself. You will burn out yourself. Right? Go steady, go to your speed. This is not a race. It's not a race, man. Right? It's like 3 years back. It's in the truth, a few years back. I have heard brothers, who also say, hey, even that brothers who also fall off as well too, who is no longer here with us, right? Pertaining within the ministry, right? Some of them said, are you going to do 4 videos a day, 3 videos a day, 2 videos a day? Some of them have tried, and this is when I was young in the truth, right? I mean, I am still basically young in the truth, right? Roughly how long in the truth now? Sometimes I don't even keep track of time pertaining to that. How long in the truth now? Probably about 6. No, probably about 5 or 6 years, probably about 5 or 6. But I would definitely have to track back in time to be more sure, right? But hey, and I be observant, and I see men get burnt out. Right? Some have attempted, some never attempted to just say so, but they never attempted. Right? They do 3 videos going along for the week, and then following to the other week, they get burnt out. Right? So hey, it's not a race, man. It's not a race. Everyone, will reach to where they're supposed to reach. As we just say, Godspeed, which is really and truly, right? Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, speed. He controls your steps, right? When he see it fit for you to increase, He will increase you, right? Don't worry. Just continue doing what you need to do, right? Continue following the laws, right? Following his laws, and by following his laws, you show it love unto Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, right? And by you showing forth your love, he will show forth love to you also by increasing, within your knowledge, your wisdom, understanding, increase you within strength, right? Increase you with health, and so forth, and the list goes on, right? Focus on your path. Don't get distracted. Do not be conformed to the things of this world, all right? Sometimes it is easier said than done, but to not be conformed to the things of this world, you have to put your body through fasting. You have to sacrifice, right? As in the Romans 12:1, it said to present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Right? So let's get all right, let's go down to Romans 12:3. It said, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think." Right? You think of yourself more higher than this one, or better than this one, or that one. This is why you focus on your walk. Every brother is going through, the tribulation, the temptations, the plague of the mind. Right? Some get it more, some get it less. Some fight demons within their sleep. Some are dealing with spiritual things that are going on within their household. All right? But to think soberly, according as Yahweh had dealt to every man the measure of faith. All right? So let's get that precept, Psalms 51:16. All right. Today, the book of Psalm 61:16. All right, it reads, "For thou desired not sacrifice," right? "For thou desired not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering." All right. So, hey, and the Lord do desire no blood sacrifice and all these things, right? He don't desire that, right? No more, right? And not burn offerings upon idols, right? You put in your body as a living sacrifice for the Lord, as Yahweh Shai have put his body as a living sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice, then, right? So to speak, all right. Right? The sacrifices of power are a broken spirit, right, man? We are broken inside. We are broken inside due to our past, due to the things of this world, that also created us to be wholehearted, wicked, right? Our spirits are broken. This is why, the scriptures talk about, to seek him 10 times more, right? A broken and contrite heart, O power, thou wilt not despise. Right? And this is why, you have to focus on your part, man. You have to focus on your part. Right? And also, fasting will also get you there, and to be more soberly minded. Right? First Psalm, well, 15, 22. This is book of First Samuel 15:22. And Samuel said, and Yahweh has great delight in burnt offerings and sacrificing, as in obeying the voice of Yahweh. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Right? So hey, so though, and even to being distracted, going back into the world, that is, that is like, you're going back onto the world, right? Back onto who? Onto idols. Because now when you go back to the world, 7 more demons, that's be upon you. These things cause you to stray off. That's some men who going back to the world, they calling upon GC and all upon all different other kind of names. Right? And this is why it's important to fully make your body a living sacrifice for Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh. Right? Because for the sacrifice, that because with the sacrifice that we do, right, is the way to live. It's the way to live. That is why it's important to always be meditating upon Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh. Right? And and as I always say, what you do, as I always say, what are you doing when you're alone? Right? And not when you're among the brethren. Because the Lord always watching, you can play all kind of semantics around the brethren, right? But when you're alone, you walk in the walk, you walk in the path, and you seek any things after this world, which rot and moss, which will not last. Right? Right? And this is why, within this walk, we have to continue to be circumspect. Also, and also, vigilant. Right? And that goes back to say again, same way with fasting. Because when you really fast, as much as possible, even for a whole day, half a day, it keeps your mind, within that state. It keeps your mind within that state. Right? Within that state of meditating upon Yahweh Bashim Yeshai. Right? And by doing that, you are trying to perfect your ways. Right? This is the book of James 1:4. It said, but let patience have hope. Let patience have a perfect work, that he may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right? Also, by trying to, perfect your ways, you also have to acknowledge. You also have to acknowledge your faults. Right? And that now, also goes in with self-examination as well. All right, let me just get this precept real quick. All right, it's the book of Psalms 51 and verse 3. It said, for I have acknowledged my transgressions, and my sins is ever before me. Right, and this is why, reading up to verse 2. Also going back to verse 2, it said, wash me truly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sins. Right? Jumping down to verse 4. Against thee, thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in the sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judged. Right? So, we go through these tribulations. We walk, this walk, in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yeshai. We do also get judged by going through, certain chastisements and so forth. All right. And this is the book of 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. All right. Right, there's a book of 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5, and it reads, examine yourself whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own self, know ye not your own self, how that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is in you. Except he be a reprobate. Right? But I trust that he shall know that we are not reprobates. Right? So, we ought to examine ourselves, man. We ought to examine ourselves. Hey, I hope this lesson was edifying. Stay within the walk, focus on your walk, man. Focus on your path. Right? There will be obstacles that will be coming to your path. Likewise, where, the temptations, also the burdens, they also taking part of the burdens of our brethren, right? Which is all well and good. Also, while you are also dealing with things in your part, and this is where the strength are built throughout spiritually, mentally, and and these is things where you grow, you learn to balance. Right, this is where your growth is, to build the strength to withstand certain pressures. Right, so hope this lesson was edifying. And to that, I wanted to say, double honors unto the apostles, shalom to the brothers, shalom to the akwat, these are what the practice are. All right, until next time, shalom.